A young man named Chris was strolling down a bustling city street, lost in thought. Suddenly, he spotted something peculiar lying on the sidewalk. It was a wallet, slightly tattered, like it had been through better days. Curiosity piqued, Chris stopped in his tracks and bent down to pick it up. As he brushed the dirt off the wallet, a strange mix of emotions washed over him. It was an old leather wallet, the kind that had seen its fair share of miles. With a deep breath, Chris decided to open it. And that's when his jaw dropped. Inside, nestled between worn cards and faded photographs, was a pile of cash, not just any cash, mind you, but a thick stack of hundreds. To his astonishment, Chris counted $5,000 in crisp new bills. The discovery left him speechless. For a moment, he couldn't comprehend the magnitude of what he was seeing. What should he do? Should he turn it in or keep it? His mind raced with possibilities. In that split second, Chris's thoughts went back to his own life. He was a young man with dreams. But his path was laden with financial hurdles. Bills piled up, rent was overdue, and opportunities seemed to slip through his fingers like grains of sand. The temptation to keep the money was almost overwhelming. In his mind, it conjured up images of paying off debts, having a roof over his head, maybe even pursuing that long-held dream of becoming a musician. It was a chance, a golden opportunity that could change his life. But then another thought struck him, a feeling that pricked at his conscience. He knew he shouldn't keep the money. It wasn't his. Someone out there was missing it, perhaps desperately. The idea of taking advantage of someone else's misfortune sat heavily on his shoulders. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city, Chris found himself back in his small apartment. The wallet lay on the table before him, a silent witness to his internal struggle. With each passing moment, the conflict within him grew. The money, it could be his ticket to a better life. A life free from the worries that had become his constant companions. But was it worth it? Was it right? Chris looked at the pile of cash, then he started flipping through the wallet, hoping to find a clue, anything that could help him make a decision. That's when he found it. A small photograph tucked away as if waiting to be discovered. It was a picture of a man and a little girl, their faces filled with joy and love. As he stared at them, he realized that the money in the wallet wasn't just some random amount. It was someone's life savings. Suddenly, the decision became clear to him. He couldn't keep the money. It wasn't just about doing the right thing. It was about preserving the innocence of that little girl, about protecting her dreams, too. The next day, driven by his newfound resolve, Chris walked into a cozy diner. The place was bustling with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the chatter of happy customers. He knew this was the spot. This was where the wallet's owner worked, or so the idea inside the wallet had told him. As he approached the counter, he saw a middle-aged man wiping down a table. There was a gentle kindness in his eyes that made Chris feel a bit more at ease. Taking a deep breath, he began, excuse me. Have you lost something? The man looked up, his gaze meeting Chris's. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then a wave of recognition washed over the man's face. His eyes, they widened and a shaky hand reached out. "Oh, my God," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "My daughter's surgery money. I thought it was gone." Before Chris could say a word, the man pulled him into a tight embrace. In that moment, Chris felt the weight of his decision lift. He wasn't just returning a wallet. He was giving back hope, a chance at a better future. When they pulled away, the man's eyes glistened with tears. "Thank you," he said, his voice cracking. "I can't begin to tell you how much this means to me." Chris managed a smile, his heart swelling with emotion. It was a feeling that made all the internal struggles worthwhile. As fate would have it, the man owned the diner. And as he watched Chris, he saw not just an honest young man, but someone with potential. He offered Chris a job, a chance to start anew, to build a solid foundation for his future. It was an offer Chris couldn't refuse. And so, what began as a chance encounter turned into a life-changing event. Chris took the job and began working at the diner. Every day brought new challenges, but also a sense of purpose, a feeling that he was on the right path. As months went by, Chris's life transformed. He had a steady income, a supportive boss, and most importantly, a sense of integrity that he valued above any amount of money. Looking back, he realized that finding that wallet was no accident. It was a test, a challenge that had pushed him to the brink and brought him out stronger, more resilient and truer to himself. The scars of temptation remained, a reminder of the tough choices life sometimes presented, but so did the warmth of knowing he had done the right thing, that he had chosen honesty and integrity over fleeting material gain. Chris often thought about the little girl from the photograph. He wondered if she had gotten better, if she was chasing her dreams, and he smiled knowing that somewhere out there, because of his decision, a little girl's future was a little brighter. It was a quiet satisfaction that resonated deep within him. In the tapestry of his life, that incident was a significant thread, a testament to the power of integrity. It was a lesson he carried with him, ensuring that whenever life presented him with choices, he chose the path of honesty, knowing that in the end, it always paid off.